Maybe the Chinese superstar is faltering here, and now there's some problems. Oh dear, from Scandicci. Ognjenovic flips that to Washington, thought it was hers. Antropova, certainly big enough and athletic enough to take off behind the 3-meter line and still cause problems.
È tutto lì, primo tocco, ok? Andiamo, vai.
Well, the wheels on the Scandicibasi are currently falling off. Isn't that the wild thing about sport in general? You can see such a high-level performance in the opening set as Linda Noakalor comes in to the middle here. A very experienced middle player, world under 20 champion. They beat Serbia on that day. Marta Armini also in that squad. He's in the squad this evening for Scandicci. Antropova goes off the hands. And also, well, obviously, Noakalor family famous in Italian volleyball. Sister is playing for Torre Arrows nowadays. Antropova. Just restoring regular business. Fabulous setting from Naz. And almost on two knees. The hips really have to get underneath the ball to generate some power there. Fabulous set. You can just see the hip thrust. And that, to get that ball in that spot from there is on another level. As you can tell this evening, there's lots to get excited about here. The CEV Champions League. Netband ace, Ognjenovic, you have to say, showed real patience to see that ball chases on, but to no avail. 10 out of 10 for Maja Ognjenovic here, because it's one thing to recognise that ball goes into the netband. It's another thing to really just stay really calm and relaxed with the touch. And here is Linda Noakalor, still just 21 years old. Serve to position 1. We've seen that often, and it's tactical genius from Barbellini. Serve to 1 and try and force the ball out to position 4 and get Boskovic out of the game. Carol goes so early. For Ajakabasi is delighted with himself here. The big players are going quiet here. Pass from shooting. All of those defensive plays that were so strong in the opening set, they're not quite there. The service pressure is coming from Eczacibasi. Still no middle attack. Antropova still scoring freely here, but they're struggling to really bring Washington into the game as often as they'd like. They're not running the slide attack for obvious reasons, that Antropova is such a threat on the 10. Carol serving. And well, it was on the end of my tongue, but she needed some of her service pressure that we saw in the opening set. So it would have been right on cue, but sadly it wasn't. Carol does find her service pressure. Because beaten into the seam with Bronkova. This one's coming back over again. Noakalor's been beaten. Crafty. Shahin has provided some good stability here. This time the middle's forced, and for Noakalor she just stays incredibly fast. That wasn't an in-rhythm situation where she could get up and really hammer it. It was quite low, but if she stays quick, she has a chance of smuggling it past the blocker before they can get up and over. Fairly unhappy. I mean, you can understand why. This is what we saw from Eczacibasi. They would win a good point in that opening set, and then they'd miss a serve or something like that, and lose a little bit of concentration. Antropova from the back. Doesn't miss. Absolutely doesn't miss. On that 10 attack. You have to say that Shahin is running a very good offense here. Stojanovic hasn't had a lot of the ball. The pass was another short serve. Difficult to establish the middle from there, but they managed to do it. Herbots has been very quiet as of late. A lot of the ball going for Antropova and shooting, so serve again to position one. Every time that Boskovic is on the front, Boskovic with an outrageous touch. Eczacibasi are really cooking here, and in the block as well. They try and force the middle, and the Serbian gets one over the Brazilian. They haven't managed to get the middle in much. Antropova on the back. It was a good time to use it, but Stojanovic was there. I think Scandici's 9 blocks, 8 of which were in the opening set, which they won to 14. Parakiali. Maja Ognjenovic, smart play. And Boskovic saw it, but again, sorry, it wasn't Boskovic, Shahin. Boskovic on the front court of position 2. Block number 10. And Carol gets her own back on Eczacibasi. Scandicci are all square. Loving every moment of this one. Shahin put on the floor, so again, it's another good thing if the middles are watching that they can release to the outsides on. Carol has to go from right to left, and shooting is there again. Antropova with the tip this time, and that's the problem when you're sitting deep in out-of-system situations like Ferhat Akbas asked earlier. Quick enough from her, but so is the arm to put that away. Scandicci by 1. Ajakabasi out of system. Antropova, what a recovery that is. Never say die attitude of Scandicci is back again. Jack Kissel has been dug. Antropova now to finish the point. Boskovic. What a dig from Boskovic. Antropova smuggling one through. Something has to give here. We haven't seen a rally like this since the first. Antropova, second time. Slapping it high. There's a net touch against Jack Kissel. And no wonder the young fans are on their feet. Antropova chasing that one down brilliantly, and then having the composure to stay high with tired legs, you'd think, to go off the hands.
Try to pay attention. Try to pay attention. So make sure that 2 pushes of Antropova fall down. 1 cut of Herbots to line fall down. 2 times we miss Herbots from right side, block out. 1 time we touch net, the game again block defense. We serve good, side out good. Push the limit and block defense, please. Haydi, let's go.
Turned into the cross. And a Baladin. The one-on-one. Especially for the passing outside, you have to do so much work off the ball to create those angles back. Unless it's somebody like Shooting who can come in a bit straighter and really turn it away from the body, which is a superpower in this game. Antropova has finally been stopped by Voronkova. Well, enjoying every moment of this battle. Finally, Antropova's just been paused. And Baladin going full throttle, but out the back. But at the same time, if you're going to take the physicality away, they're serving Shooting again from that front court receiver position. They had some success with that in the previous set and early on in this one. Watch out, everybody. Carroll's about. Sinde with a perfect pass. Excellent side-out play from Eczacibasi. If they can pass and serve Eczacibasi, they'll be fine. Because the service pressure from Scandicci is so strong. But when the pressure's on, can they maintain the same service pressure? Do they still step towards it? Shooting, passing off the net. Antropova again goes off speed, and she knows that the defense is really far back. That's what Ajakabasi asked of them in these situations, and that's twice that she slowed the arm down. These are huge points to be able to score from out of system, out of rhythm situations, just like we saw in the opener. Antropova. Another miss serve. You have to hope that she stays hot throughout this game, because coming in second stint here in her career at Scandicci, captain of the side. And it's a really good combination from a little bit more inside for Boskovic, just changing the picture here. Not hitting as wide as we've previously seen, and just looking for that gap between the two blockers. This really is a seesaw of a game. Up and down like a yo-yo. Parakiali, perfection. Herbots is hardly missing. Again, it's a continuation play, and the aggression in transition needs to be applauded by Handa Baladin. That is not an easy swing. It's wide. Baladin has to adapt in the air and lean. Quick 2 steps to the ball. Eczacibasi 2 up. And Ajakabasi is doing exactly what he said he would do, and that's forcing a win away in Scandicci.
Aspettiamo con lei a muro, ok? Vai, andiamo.
Well, if this game wasn't already good enough, we have the Bee Gees playing in the background, just to add a little bit more spice to it. Antropova. Baladin's a little bit unsure, has to take that second touch. Okay, free ball, where's this going? Noakalor in the middle, to the outside with speed. Of course, it's going to Herbots, speeding the game up. Herbots is so dynamic out there. She hasn't put her foot wrong. I think she could get a lot more ball, and I think that she might do, depending on the Zhuting situation. Noakalor now. Has stayed in for Hayley Washington at the moment. Boskovic. And in the opening set, Boskovic didn't really get going, firing on all cylinders. But I mean, I can't remember her missing a swing. Okay, she just dragged one to the line wide. But on the whole, we've gone a long time without seeing Boskovic do anything wrong. Parakiali just skips in front of Zhuting, who's back in here. Herbots is trying to fire up this performance from Scandicci, which tells me they might be just a little bit flat at the moment. Considering how they started this game, they were firing on all cylinders, and I did say that it would be mental if they could keep up that level of performance with 8 blocks, and they haven't been able to. Ajakabasi have just risen into this game slowly, but their level is always increasing. But I guess if you're Ferhat Akbas and his team, it couldn't have started much worse. 20 points already for the boss. 55% is a very good return. Third position 1. I guess we'll find out. Well, have a look at those fellas having some fun. You crack on. Boys, have a great time. So where does Carol face and where does she serve? Straight to position 1, straight out of the Ferhat Akbas playbook. That incredible to hear it all unfold in front of well, hear it unfold and see it unfold in front of us. But anyway, the first pass from Barbellini is out of rhythm. Boskovic makes an error, and we go to overtime again. Carroll, does she show 5 and hit 1 again? So she goes back to position 1. It's almost a safe bet, wiping off the hands for Antropova. Again, they're really trying to work Shahin's setting by going to 1 and keep Boskovic at bay. That's what happened last time. The error came due to the good service location. Another set point. Eczacibasi, Istanbul, away from home to take a 2-1 lead. Sinead Jack Kissel through the middle. Shooting. Big moments, as we said earlier, the big players arrive on the scene. This game is quite brilliant, isn't it? First set, one-way traffic. Second set, 27-25. Now here we are again in overtime with Antropova going in all guns blazing on the passing unit of Ajakabasi. Herbots with a perfect defense. Shooting with a perfect transition kill to turn the tide here in Scandicci. High to the wing. The powerhouse, the shooting. Gives Scandicci their first set point of set 3. Antropova, you have to say, clutch with the serve last time out. Clutch with the serve now as well. Boskovic hitting her way out of a fiddle. Hits herself wide of the mark, and it's Scandicci. Smash and grab. The third set here at home, 27-25. We might have a challenge first, though. Eurovolley.tv again proving to be the most dramatic place to be on a Wednesday night. And there you have it. Scandicci lead last year's runners-up 2 sets to 1.